gonna, and then on the second, I said, yo, so just to make it look a little different, right? So on the other ones, you're
just cuping out of nowhere.
I told you I got many. I have many of the accents, man. So what are you gonna what are you gonna do on the first one, right? You're gonna do it with
No, you just lead the next one. Yeah, just like just.
No. What I'm saying is this. You're gonna take off the sweater, eh? Your sweater. You're gonna you're gonna remove it.
Yeah.
So
no weed. I might be performing later.
Oh, that's good to know before I spark this.
Yeah.
Looking at me.
Because Liam invited me to Slum Brew, so I'm gonna go there. I may have a chance to get up there. Yeah, McGurk. Yeah. So
Slum Brew.
I may have a chance to get up there, so I'm gonna not do that, just in case.
That's how much we have in common. Did you record me saying that, motherfucker?
Yeah, I think it probably picked up. No one listened to the first couple of minutes of the shit. I'd be listening to it because I try to remember what we were talking about beforehand. But I don't think most people listen to it.
Oh.
Right up top, we're doing story time. I don't like it.
And they still want to talk shit on hip-hop. Let me show you hip-hop.
Unstoppable rhymer, demolish your metropolis via the noggin, firing rockets like I'm in the cockpit of a fighter, atomic writer, dropping a bomb on you like the Gaza Strip. I am on fire, a diabolical tyrant. You'll never topple this giant, stomping the fighters. I'm the dominant fighter. I get it hotter than a tropical climate, and your days with an apocalypse like I'm the fucking prophet of mine. I take a shot at your mind with the most hostile rhyme impossible. You cats can't rock with a lion. Man, I'm stopping and trying. It's like I'm throwing down 10,000 chemistry books. The way I'm dropping the sign and let them just cook. I'm moving like the Rockies, just sliding off of a mountain with some lava behind it. Pompeii, your whole city, diddy, take that. My shock of a lightning storm strikes you down. Have to go dropping a silence. I am a fucking beast. They say rap's just thugs and max. You still think it's all about the fucking guns that clap? Well, fuck it. Bang out, niggas. Bang out, niggas. Bang out, niggas. Bang out, niggas. Whatever, motherfuckers. We ain't scared. It's whatever, motherfuckers. We ain't scared, so what? Bang out, niggas. Bang out, niggas. Bang out, niggas. Bang out, niggas. Demonstrate my flow, so listen. Never hesitate to run a man over on my road to riches. I meditate, let my pencil spray, let away like a weapon, race a soldier with it. Mixed with leather face, cold is with it. Flow is frigid, have a second, take a closer listen. You'll catch the blue, bless you, I'm dope as spitting. Let me set it straight for most you niggas. Keep going with it like you never break, and I never break. My soul's bold and never broke. Like visions, I compose my written and let them detonate. Blow you bridges, the king to come for heaven's sake. If you ghost your written, then there's hell to pay. Unless you're Dre, I'm a renegade like Hovis Slimmers, and I separate the flow from business. This rap game's my grill, I'll roast you chicken. And since these oldies think we never change, get a tech and spec. Bye. They say rap's just thugs and max. You still think it's all about the fucking guns that clap? Well, fuck it. Bang out, niggas. Bang out, niggas. Bang out, niggas. Bang out, niggas. Whatever, motherfuckers. We ain't scared. It's whatever, motherfuckers. We ain't scared, so fuck it. Bang out, niggas. Bang out, niggas. Bang out, niggas. Bang out, niggas. rev, smoke mad blunt. Blow that puff, we going nuts, it's like some gonad, son, we chillin'. Feel like a spaceship or a jet, call me a homo, cause I blow trees like it's oral sex. And yes, we go blunt cruising, kept up the blunt moving, breath in the lungs soothing. 1, 2, and step to the next, a new puffs, moolah, the green, not the green in your pocket, I'm talking about the weed. We out like rockets, just we blast off, beyond the atmosphere and space, we like Neil Armstrong. You feeling out of place, well this weed's gonna put you in a place, in a state, riding on an interstate, or sitting chilling in a state in the U.S. of A. I inhale and I blew stress away. It's so good and it's so nice to get some. I wouldn't call this my best friend, man. This is more like my best bud. It's getting hotter, I blaze so steady. That girl Mary Jane so sexy. I gotta have her as my fucking spouse that way. I can pound that babe, call me a farmer, cause I'm about that hay. Yeah, sure, ride forward higher. We bake trees, so there's a worldwide forest fire. And torch the lighter with no break. It's safe to say we high till the days go back to sleep. Cause when our eyes got some Asiatic features. Konnichiwa, we having a good time. Don't break the way we light up. Like Drake and Jay-Z, this a great beat. Don't mind, son. You had your shot in the game. Now you a clock on a plane. That means your time's up. You blast up like some time capsules. I'm a different kind.
Hear ye, make way for the kings. The kings are here.
You think the bitches are great because you're fucking seasonal, nigga? You can't be seasonal. Niggas got this shit's 24 hours a day.
You can't have seasoning, nigga. You can't have seasoning. You want some pickles on this shit? You think you got some seasoning?
You're listening to the KINGZ podcast with your hosts, KINGZ,
This is a fucking game.
Gerby, and Irish O'Neill.
Yo, welcome to the KINGZ podcast. My name is Gerby.
It's your boy Charismatic.
What's up? I'm Irish O'Neill.
Here we are again. Thank you for coming out again and joining us and dealing with our bullshit. This is the KINGZ podcast where we talk about the male-female dynamic.
Sure.
We give relationship advice.
Sure.
And then we tell these young fellas, incels and non-incels, how to get these ladies
Sure.
up top. And then we go through our topics. We have some interesting conversations. We have some story times.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna get into some clips. And
Sure.
then hopefully you guys enjoy the show.
Sure.
And the first thing we're going to talk about, of course, is the 3 principles how to attract these ladies.
Yep.
First thing you need is confidence.
Yep.
Meaning confidence in yourself and in your abilities. And most importantly, my friends, that didn't make sense. I said 4, I did 3. You got to believe in your sex appeal. You got to believe your sex say. If you don't think you're sexy, they're not going to think you're sexy. And it's a mindset, not just you telling yourself that.
And when I get into my story too, I'll even take you through the steps of how I initiated.
There you go.
it.
Examples. Examples. Second principle that you need is you need to have emotional independence. You can't be afraid of these ladies' reactions. Trust me, no matter what I've said to women in the past, and I've said some stupid stuff.
Gerby said some stupid shit.
Some stupid shit. I fail more than I succeed. I've never gotten slapped, a drink thrown in my face, or anything like nothing close to that. If anything, the worst I've gotten is silence.
Yes.
Same. I've never had any kind of like physical thing with a chick like that ever.
Ever.
Let me clarify that statement. Never had a chick violently hit me. I've obviously been physical with her.
Right.
I was like,
right.
that came out wrong.
Yeah. I think everybody understood.
I'm 6'5". Not much comes for me.
Right.
So,
No, it's just like because I see a lot of guys, and our last like a couple episodes ago, Theo's talking about how he's afraid to walk up to women and just talk to them, and there's this idea that you need to be afraid. You can't be afraid of it. That's never gonna happen. Whatever you think it's just not gonna happen. And by the way, and it's just I think it's better to be. I think you stand out more too when you walk up to them versus you hitting up on the online.
And you know what? Like this is the worst that's ever gonna happen, right? Like pretend I'm a chick. Come up and say hello to me. I know it's hard. You gotta.
Because you're not a girl. Anyway, what's up? What's up, mommy? What's your name? No, stop. I'm joking. Hi, my name is Gerby. How you doing this evening?
Nope. That's the worst you get. That is the worst you get.
That's
So-
fine.
You get a real
So-
cunty nope, but then
if-
you just go, okay.
All right, cool.
If you guys
Have a
want
good
to
evening.
hear
Have a
something
good night.
interesting, so I once was in a forum where people were talking about dating and being a millennial and shit like that, and one of the ladies in the forum actually had she raised her hand to ask a question, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm looking to meet guys, but I hate being approached in person."
That
So immediately,
I want
that's
y'all to take that all in, like this. I
Okay,
want
I'm
y'all to
thinking about
take,
it.
like,
I'm thinking about it.
take
Yeah.
take
Yeah,
that in.
okay.
how that directly
What did she say
contradicts
afterwards?
each other.
Yeah, how did she say? What did she
The
say
direct
afterwards?
contradiction. I want men to
those-
approach me, but not actually by approaching me. So you want a man to just somehow look at you from across a room, read your mind, and go, "Okay, that's your Facebook Messenger name," and then message you and be like, "Hey, I happened to see you at this bar," and blah, blah, blah. Like, first of all, that's infinitely
Boom.
creepy.
What did
Wait,
she-
really?
no, I'm-
Shut the fuck
like,
up.
bro,
No, that
like,
doesn't make sense. I
no,
don't
no,
care
no,
about
no,
that.
no,
Of course
no,
it doesn't make
no,
sense.
But I
no,
want
no,
to
no,
hear
no.
what she said after that. After that.
So like people like so what do you mean you don't like when people approach you in person? She's like,
Right.
no, I rather like if they approach me through a dating app or something like that. But I hate when people approach me in person.
How do you approach someone from a dating app? Like, you would have to set up the opportunity from the dating app to approach. So you've essentially already made a date by that. So then you really just only you don't want people to approach you. You only want to go on dates that are set up through a dating
she's
app. 'Cause-
very.
But she
vain.
wants a man.
She's
No,
very
and,
vain.
And you know why that is? No, and
She's actually very
you know
vain.
this is by the way, I'm on the Gerby train now. I got rid of all the dating apps because I believe in Gerby's theory that they give women too much power.
That's why I don't like that. That's why I say she's vain, because I'm curious to say what she said afterwards, because when she says something like that, that means she's on dating sites. She loves the attention that she gets from men coming after her.
But it's also this
And the impersonability.
It's our generation has all of this technology that like people really don't know how to interact in person anymore. They really don't. Like, it's very like all of this awkward stuff you see with like a lot of these
It's because-
incel guys
no,
too.
no,
It's like because they're only online.
So
They're
someone
not,
asked her how would she deal with a man
Yeah, okay,
coming
yeah,
up and
yeah,
approaching
right,
her?
right.
She said she'd ignore. She ignores them
Okay,
and
so
just continues on her way.
so did somebody ask her a situation where she met a guy online and then the guy went up to her?
she said she complained that also all the guys she meets are creeps.
okay, now ready? This is the arrogance of a lot of women because
Her ego is
and
immense.
I'll simply explain it by a quote that my middle school band teacher said, because one time he stopped the band because the kid next to me was playing a part wrong, and he goes, the kid's name is Daniel. He goes, "Hey Daniel, it's more likely that since the rest of the band is all playing it one way and you're playing it another way," he's like, "I'm pretty sure these 99 other people all doing the exact same thing, more likely than not, like they're doing it right and you're doing it wrong."
Right.
So it's like, lady, did you ever stop to think maybe you're the fucking problem?
But
You're asking for opportunities. Opportunities are being thrown at you. It's like, what is it that you don't even, this is what I mean. Women don't really know what they want a lot of the time.
I agree with that. Yes.
Like everything she says
Even
is
I
a
have to agree with
contradiction.
that.
I want men to approach. I want more male attention, but I don't want them to approach me. But I want them to approach me on a dating app. But all of them are creeps. It's like,
See, but women are products of their experience. So let's say
Women-
for this
you know-
woman, for example, she's been approached by creepy guys. So she's like, I don't like being approached by men in real time or whatever.
and this is the problem.
But it's
Women-
not until a real guy approaches her and charms her. Now all of a sudden she's like, oh, I like that.
Yes.
So it's like she's speaking from a place that is just her past experiences.
they have no.
All right, but
they
at
have,
some point you have to rationalize your feelings
they have no.
She can't.
with reality.
She can't. She's basing it off her experience.
They have no skills to get a man other than just waiting like a
oh
lottery
yeah,
ticket.
women have no game.
No,
You guys
literally,
have no
like
game.
they're fighting.
Oh, I got to watch this in excruciating.
it's hilarious.
Excruciating. It was awful.
It's so painful to watch.
It is
They have no
awful.
game. You
It's
guys have no
so
game.
awkward. It's so awkward, and they literally, it's like the only way they can find a man is just waiting around like the lottery, like till the
But
the
for
magical
the-
lottery walks
I-
up.
I
But
got-
you have to be willing to let that lottery ticket walk in. You can't be like this woman and just be like, well, no, they're all creeps. It's like, well, then maybe go date girls then, because it doesn't sound like you really like guys.
And for the Lady Kings, the best way to approach men is not to be like us, is to be direct.
Yes.
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 Your game is just different than ours.
First off,
but
you
don't try
need
to
game.
be like us.
First off, you
It's
don't
easy
need
to get us.
They don't
Right.
need game.
You don't
We're
need a skill.
already.
We're ready.
most
We're
of us
down.
Prepped,
We're
except
down.
Max.
Yeah.
Most of us are prepped and ready to go. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think Max is too. I think
and you know what? When I say women don't have skills to get a guy, I'm not necessarily saying that to you as a bad thing. You just have no reason or need to have
To
those
practice
skills.
those
you don't
skills,
have our skills.
We've had to. We have over like thousands of years have had to develop these skills to hunt you on a like primate like
And
level.
let me say this. Yes, like I mean, lesbians do have better game.
For sure.
I mean, the butch ones I've seen
but
usually
they're
have a better.
But they're hunting. Or at
I've
least
never seen a lesbian like went up cold and be able to get a girl's number, so I'm not sure.
I
if that's
have
true.
many times.
I'm not sure.
I mean, it's the same tactics I've seen
Because
that guys,
guys,
use.
yes, that's what I'm
it's
saying.
the Same
Okay, yeah,
tactics,
yeah,
but like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, which makes sense, by the way.
I mean,
they would use our methods.
hunting the same prey.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't know if I like that. Is it our methods or just the methods of someone that hunts a female?
Well, since we're the one that hunts them,
Typically,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
But is that like those are the type of questions that break my brain? But anyways, the third
principle, our last principle, you need to have a sense of humor and develop a social intelligence.
Yes.
As much as you can. Now, I want to add something to this, to social intelligence. I'm only focusing on sense of humor, but social intelligence also being able to just be in a room full of people and not be awkward.
Yes, and be able to identify, read the situation, all that kind of thing.
Be cool and not to. The best way to deal with crowds, because some of you are not good with crowds or dealing with social interactions, is just don't get upset or become negative in social interactions. That's really all that you need, really, is just roll with the punches. Because what ends up happening sometimes when you're uncomfortable in social gatherings, you start acting like the way you were normal. You'll be like, okay, I'm not gonna interact. I'm not gonna engage with people. You can't do that in social interactions. That looks very bad.
Yep.
And if you're with a young lady and a lady is watching you, and she likes you, she's gonna notice that you're being very awkward in public, and that may turn her off into thinking that you're a creep. So yeah, that's only note I have for social in terms of social intelligence is to not become negative and don't disengage.
Well, and you know what? This is a problem I think a lot of guys have too. Is a lot of guys approach a chick very dishonestly, and what I mean by that is like they don't really. They're holding back who they are because they're like, oh, I don't want to fuck this up. I don't like, you know what I mean? They're not really authentically being who they are. And that's like when you hear me say a lot of times, ladies, where I go, like, you don't really see the real us till we fuck you. Like, that's what I mean. So many guys are being fake to you the first couple dates and stuff because they want pussy. You know what I mean? It's like they're not going to come out and just be themselves because themselves, they're too afraid it's going to scare you and your pussy off. So it's like if you're having trouble talking to women, it's like maybe your problem is that you're too worried about your true self scaring them off. Right. So just don't give a fuck about that. Like, I'm going to talk to a chick the way I talk to, you know, maybe not as rough as I talk like with you guys.
Well,
but
you can't do that.
But it's not, it's not like a complete, I'm not going to be like, yes. Like, I'm not going to be I'm not going to be a completely different person with a chick than like I'm hanging with you guys. Like, I'm going to be me and they can either be with it or not. And you just have to accept that.
The word is neutral. Don't be neutral.
Yes.
That you need to avoid that as much as possible. I think
it's okay to disagree with.
It's okay to and tell her why you disagree with her. And this is the thing too. I said this a couple episodes about creating a sexual environment. Look at her like you're lusting after her. You don't need to be staring. See, this is the thing. You don't need to be staring at her titties for 300 minutes. For don't do that. That's creepy.
Yep.
But it's just a glance.
Take quick
You're
peeks.
glancing her body. Just let her know that you see her. You think
you're giving
she's
her
sexy.
eye contact,
Right.
talking, nod
yeah,
your
look
head,
at while you
shoot a little like glance,
just
like
look, look at stare, stare at her profile. Let her know that you find her attractive. Because the thing is, a lot of women, they're not sure about what we're thinking either.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Although they're able to read faces really well, sometimes they don't know our intentions.
Should be very easy.
It should. But
It
some
should.
guys,
It really
they play
should.
so neutral. They're so neutral. They're just looking at the girl in her eyes, and they're not looking anywhere else. And they're answering questions directly and exactly the way the girl asked it. You don't need to do that. You can just play around. Try to be, like I said, a sense of humor and play around with everything that she asks you. And more like that. It makes it more exciting. You create spark chemistry.
And I'll even give women like a little hint. Pretty much just assume anytime you're talking to a guy, he wants to fuck you. It's better to assume that going into it because I would argue more often than not a guy wants to fuck you.
I'm gonna have to agree.
I would have to agree with you
because I'm trying to think about.
And I blew a chick's mind the other day because she was talking about like this one of these guy friends that she had, and I was like and it's a guy that I know like wants to get with her, but she clearly just doesn't get it. And I go, so you really think that guy's your friend? And she's like, yeah. And I go, so if you call your buddy up right now and go, hey friend, you know what? I've been thinking about it. Come over and let's have sex right now. You think that his reply is going to be, no, let's not do that because we're friends. Fuck no. He's going to be like, I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Yep.
Right.
And she and literally she went, oh.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. guys who are very friendly with girls that in the friend, they're very patient guys. That's all.
Yeah, they're very.
And-
They're just very patient guys.
It can work, but to me, it's such a small percentage that I just really don't believe in that methodology. Like a lot of chicks, because what it is it's you're trying to get a chick from a chick's perspective, which is like if I hang out and be her friend.
Yeah, that's how women
like,
think. Yeah,
that's how women think.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's
if I just hang around him, he'll know. He'll realize it.
It's
Yeah,
what they want, but it's not what they need, and that's why it doesn't work.
Right.
You're a penguin to them.
That's
you
right.
need to be a shark.
Yeah, because you have to look at women as prey and you as a hunter.
Yeah, don't become a
When going after them. I'm not saying that they're prey in terms of everyday life, but in terms of if you want to sleep with them, get into a relationship with them, you have to look at them as prize that you have to capture. And so you have to have this mindset that I need to go out there and hunt and find what I want. And then when you find your prey, you hone in and you go after her. Because the thing is, when you go with the idea of I'm going to be neutral, I'm going to be very nice, and I'm going to be very sweet and all this, it's like that doesn't create any attraction. That doesn't create any chemistry. She don't know if you're even into her at that point. You're just talking.
True.
We're male lions, they're female lions. And when you try to go through this methodology of like friendshipping your way into pussy, you're essentially being
Friend zoned.
Yep.
This female lion is coming for you and treating you like a what is the little thing? Meerkats? Little fucking the Timon and Pumbaa thing. Exactly.
I think
okay,
what those are called, but yeah, I think
prairie dog,
meerkats.
Meerkats is
You're the friendship guy is essentially a beta meerkat, and she's playing with her food. She pounces on her little meerkat. She's like, I could fuck you up, I could eat you, but I'm gonna let you hang around. Because I have power over you.
Right.
And then eventually she gets bored of that because a lion and a meerkat, that's not going to work. And so then she comes back to the male lion. She tries to build her confidence by going to a meerkat, comes back to a lion, and then realizes that doesn't work.
Yeah. It's just like women need to understand that they're normal. Yeah. And so when you treat them like they're like these angelic beings, it just makes them very uncomfortable.
And you inflate their ego.
Yeah. And you inflate their ego.
And their arrogance. Because women, just because, this is the crazy thing, and this was a quote I heard on a podcast that Patrice was on the other day, and I'd never heard it before. It made so much sense where it's like, what was it?
I don't think that's the exact quote, but...
Fuck, now I'm
Such an asshole.
Are you paraphrasing?
Recap, what were we just talking about?
We was literally
He's
just...
nuts.
We were just talking about how approaching women neutrally is not a good thing in any way. You can't look at them like that.
It was like the last two sentences.
The last two sentences. I don't remember because I was laughing, and now it's gone.
Fuck. It was so good, too.
Yeah, it's so good. Okay, but it's like my point. I'm gonna go back to my point though. But my point is that you can't. It makes women so they get bored by you when you are so neutral. It's like it doesn't make any sense. It's like we might as well just be friends at that point, and they won't see you anything outside of that. You gotta see them. You gotta make them see you as a sexual being. Ultimately,
This is true.
And so guys, please, when you get out there and you approach these women, don't be afraid to look at her up and down. Don't be afraid. Take a second or two to look at them titties. Don't be afraid to do that because it makes her. It lets her know. Oh, he likes what he sees. But you don't have to say that. But don't do that work. Don't do that work. Don't do that work. Clearly. Don't do that work. But but anywhere else, just let her know from the moment go with your eyes and your body language that you like what you see.
Mm-hmm. Maybe bite your lip real quick.
Yeah, bite. Yeah. Do a little something.
Maybe you hit them with that. Hey, mami,
Yeah,
¿cómo te
mama.
llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? Ay, mami, ¿cómo te llamas? Hit them with that.
Let them
Hey.
know. Let them know because what you're doing is when you're being neutral and being super nice, you're losing your opportunity to create chemistry with her.
Yes.
That's what you're doing. You're just wasting time. And everything
You're
with a woman.
friend-zoning yourself.
Everything is a window. It's just like comedy. Comedy, like in terms of when we tell jokes, like as you start getting better at telling jokes, you realize there's a window that you have to be able to tell the joke for it to be funny.
Yeah.
Once you miss that window, you might as well just not say the thing you're going to say because no one's going to get it because you missed your PP. You miss your time. It's the same thing with women. When you approach them, in that moment, you have a good 5 minutes to get this girl to see you as somebody she could be interested in. She could see herself being with you. If you lose your opportunity, and I'm not saying you can't mess it up forever. You can still always get back and talk to her again. But you have a very short window to be able to do that. So you have to let her see you not as a friend first, but as somebody that will fuck the shit out of her. That's how. And then everything else after that, then it'll follow suit in terms of your personality traits and all this other shit that you think women care about, which they don't give a fuck about. It's how you make them feel. That's the most important thing.
I'm gonna remember that quote right after this episode.
Yeah,
ends. It's gonna bother me. I know it was something to do with treating them normal.
Yeah. You gotta treat women. Yeah. They're not angelic beings. They're just people. Fuck. They're just people.
I'll think of it later. It was a genius quote.
They shit and fart too.
Yep.
Yep.
They poop.
Yep.
They piss. They do all type of things. When they piss in their shoes sometimes.
Their pussy isn't any
when
more
they fart,
important than
their
your
fart
dick.
goes into their vagina sometimes. Yeah, I
level.
know that, Lady Kings. I know that's true. You've been exposed to. Anyway, moving forward, let's go into the plugs, baby.
Oh, let's get them.
My name is Gerby. You can find me on Instagram at funny name Gerby. Yeah, that's what his name. All right, and check me out. And my shows, don't come to them. Thank you.
Oh, this your boy, charismatic_me on IG and Twitter. Charismatic IPE on Facebook. And y'all can catch me around and about. I'll be at the Middle East on the 3rd and the 4th of January. Please come through and check it. And I'll let you guys know more information as that builds. Thank y'all.
What up, guys? Follow me on all social media at It's Irish O'Neal. Check out the STC podcast, Shit Talking Cunts. We go live every Sunday. We got a new episode coming out today with Ricardo Perez and Rob Byron, and we're also filming one for next week with hilarious New York comic Troy Allen. So it's going to be a good time. We also... I feel like, my band, Dane Sleef. Check out our EP. It's out, danesleef.bandcamp.com. That's DAINSLEIF. Check it out. It's pretty good if I do say so myself.
There you go. Check it out.
Yeah.
Watch SCC. We're a family. We're trying to build something out here. So
Yeah, baby.
definitely do that. All right, let's go into the first topic, King's story time, because you have a story about some of these ladies.
King's story time.
Okay. I had what was going to be a magical experience Friday, and it turned into a shit show. I'll walk everyone through every step of it. Now, there's nothing I did wrong and that's not me even being arrogant. I know for a fact it wasn't me that ruined it.
Right.
The blame was put on my drummer and friend Eric, but he also didn't ruin it. Okay. This is going to be, and essentially the whole time, everyone listening, I want you to think in your head while I'm telling the story, right? Because it's going to probe a discussion on consent.
Right.
And I want you to put yourself in the shoes of the women in this story and just think to yourself the whole time. You guys can even do this. Stop me when you go like, oh, this is where I would mention something, right?
Yeah, just tell your story. Tell your story. Yeah.
So my drummer Eric came over on Friday night. We were working on some music here, drinking some whiskey. We're hanging out, and we were like, hey, let's go to that. Let's go to Ex Mortis, which is that other like goth event that happens in the Middle East. We get there. Of course, I'm rocking that beautiful fur coat over there and everything.
The minky.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We get there. I get out of the car, start smoking a joint, and I'm not leaned up against this wall for more than maybe 30 seconds. And this like hot chick wearing like almost like a Jessica Rabbit like red dress. She's got some fur on. Comes up like if you're me, she comes up next to me, leans on the wall, and she goes like, does that instantly. I'm like, all right. This is gonna be easy. I start talking like, oh, I see you rocking the fur too. Like, we looking good out here, everything. Blah, blah, blah. And this was just perfect timing. Someone walked by and was like, you guys look so good together. And I was just like, oh, like God is real. He's making it work right now. He's making it work. But and that's the thing, right? It's just it's light stuff to start out. It's it's like little probing things, like, you know what I mean? Like there was the factor she was wearing the fur, so I was like, oh, there's my end. That's the opening. She was into. We talked for a couple minutes, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna go inside. Maybe I'll see you in there. So that was the thing. I walked away. This is a lot of guys do. Don't linger.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't linger. Like a lot of or follow them around or anything like
it
that.
Doesn't make any sense.
Make them like you initiate the contact and then put it on their terms almost. Like you can come back up to me if you're interested or not.
Right.
So we go in. Eric and I are hanging for a little bit. We're having a couple drinks. I see this one, and I'm trying to think. Okay, so we'll call the one I met outside.
Red dress.
We'll call her red dress. I was gonna go hot chick and just chick, but like we'll be nice. So that's red dress outside. I get inside. I see this chick who we'll call
not red dress.
Not red dress. Not red dress. Not red dress is a little bigger. Yeah. Not bad though. Like cute face, good enough assets and everything. Nice person. I met her before because she like works there for that event. Like she's like a burlesque dancer or something.
Oh, dope. Okay.
But she's a little like clingy, like, and then like I've never like gone out with this chick or whatever, but she like hit me up on like social media once, and like it's one of those people that's just like constantly sending messages. Where it's like, lady, I'm not dating you. Stop talking to me.
Right.
But it was nice and everything. I was like, hey, how you doing? Blah blah blah. Go back and I see Red Dress come in. And then I notice she's by herself. So I go up. I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, nothing. I'm like, you want to go dance? And she's like, yeah. So we go out. We're dancing. She's like grabbing up all on me pretty immediately. I start biting her neck and everything. I'm like, word, this is gonna work out. It's gonna be great.
There you go, Kings.
Not Red Dress walks up because Not Red Dress apparently also knows her. She's like, oh, I know both of you and everything.
Okay.
Now, internally, this was annoying to me because I'm talking to Red Dress. It's like, other lady back.
Cop blocking. Yeah. Like she's coming to cop block.
Like, what are you
no
doing?
question.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no
like,
question. Yep.
But it wasn't cock blocking. What it was is she was trying.
She was smoozing.
And she was schmoozing, but also she was supposed to have been meeting up with a person that was clearly getting stood up, and so then was trying to then impose herself into our situation.
I still consider that cop blocking.
I would still consider that cock blocking too. Ladies, we don't fucking
it's
that.
a form of cock block because now you're like, there's
it
a
didn't
different
work out for
weight on the
you, so
situation.
now you're trying to get into
because
your friend's situation.
It puts a guy in the impossible situation, right?
Right.
And this is what it is, ladies. These chicks know each other, so there's some sort of friendship there or
Yep.
whatever.
Right.
I look if for her to come up and me to be like, hey, we're just doing our thing, go away, or any kind of like if she's like, oh, like, do you mind if I hang out? Like, you by default put me. You're essentially you're kidnapping my feelings because I can't go. No, I don't want you involved because then I look like an asshole.
And you may lose the connection.
And I may lose the fucking good one. So it's
the
like,
red dress, right,
you've already put me
right.
in a position I don't want to be in.
Right,
So it's like,
huge bind.
fucking
Yep.
great.
Yeah,
All right,
huge
sick.
bind, right.
And it's not even that like it was a problem that she came along as much as it's just like, well, I was just trying to fucking do shit with this chick right now.
Right.
But then, we go back over the bar. My drummer, Eric, was there. He like bought everyone some drinks. We're all talking. Like, everything's like, the vibe's good. Everyone's like laughing, joking. Like, they're involving Eric. Eric's involved. Like, no weirdness at all. Anything. Everything, as the conversation's going, we're intermingling who's talking to who. The vibe very much is, at least very obvious to me and Eric, that, oh, okay, we're going to bang these two chicks.
Right.
They seem down with it. They even like, they're like, what are we doing after this? And I was like, oh, we go back to my place and everything. The event ends. We call an Uber. We all get an Uber. We come back here. Now we're back here. I got a little music playing. We're all kind of like hanging out over in the bed area. There's some light, like heavy petting. There's some heavy petting going on and everything.
Little rubby rub.
Everyone's
Some
like,
friction is happening.
there's some friction. I swear to God, I'm going to use that line on a woman one time, by the way. That was, to this date, one of the smoothest things I've ever watched. And then at a certain point, Red Dress is like, oh, I just kind of like need a minute. And she gets up and goes and sits in like that chair.
Right.
And we're all like sitting there. Eric's like, okay. And then like Eric goes to the bathroom. And I'm just sitting over there like talking to that chick. Then Eric comes back and Eric was like sitting in that chair. Red Dress comes and hops back into bed and then goes, oh, Eric, don't be alone over there. Come get in bed with us. And then like, he's all like, we're all like, it's like chick guy.
Right.
Then she's like, oh, like Eric, you can grab some tit if you want. And like, okay, so like Eric's grabbing a little tit and stuff, and like stuff's starting to happen. And then about 5 minutes after that, she's like, oh, like I'm kind of just getting tired. I think I'm gonna go home.
Not Red Dress.
Red Dress.
Red Dress. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So Red Dress gets up and starts going. So then I'm like, well, this is kind of weird now. Because not for nothing, I didn't really want to just like run a train on Not Red Dress. So I'm like, I go, well.
Yes, ladies, just because you have some pussy doesn't mean we want it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We still have everybody has what they will and won't fuck, period. It's an everybody type of thing. You know what I'm
so
saying?
I go like, well, it's like 3:30, almost 4 in the morning at this point. So I'm like, it's late. Well, I think like at this point, everyone should just go. Like, I'm just going to go to bed.
Right.
And Not Red Dress goes, well, why do I have to leave? And I'm like,
because you're never really invited to begin with.
I go, your friend's leaving, and I mean, like, what do you expect me to kick my friend? I go, what about Eric? And she goes, well, what about him? And and this is the funniest thing that I've ever heard Eric say. Eric goes, well, I guess what he's asking is, how much dick are you willing to suck tonight? Fucking, I burst out laughing. That shit was hilarious. And Eric, for context, Eric looks almost exactly like me and everything, but he's typically a more quiet person.
Right.
But it was just so fucking funny hearing him say that. And she was like, she just goes, well, not yours. And I go, okay, well, like, I'm not going to fuck. She's like, well, why are you not going to fuck me? I go, so you want me to just kick my, like, essentially one of my best friends out or just make him watch? Like, no, I'm not going to do that. And I'm like, not only that, I'm like, the implication was kind of that we were all going to be hooking up here and like the situation changed.
Right.
And she was like, well, we were never really interested in Eric.
So is Red Dress still in the room at this point?
She
already has gone?
By this point, she had just walked out that door.
Okay.
So now it's essentially just the three of us kind of arguing where it's like, okay. And I was like, well, here's the thing. It's like, Eric bought you guys drinks, which certainly doesn't guarantee him pussy, but you guys are also not guaranteed dick. Right. So what's the problem here? I'm like, and she was like, well, why don't you just walk, oh my God, I almost said that chick's name. Why don't you walk Red Dress home and I'll just wait here? And I was like, because you're not going to be in my fucking house and room. I don't know you.
Fucking weird.
Right? And so it's like, it's becoming this situation where I'm like, yeah, you just need to fucking go. I'm like, you need to go. Eric has been a soldier up into this point too, right? But I could tell Eric is pissed off. And
of course.
And here's why.
Of course.
Other than the obvious reasons, every implication was he was going to be getting some pussy. If he wasn't, and this is where I'm going to, it's like, these chicks never apparently had any intention of banging Eric, okay?
Okay.
So if that was the case, they should have fucking said that before we got in a goddamn Uber to my house. They should have said that so then Eric could have, instead of come all the way to Brighton, gone back from the Middle East to his house in Back Bay and then not had to spend probably 30 something bucks on an Uber at 3:30 in the fucking morning.
Right.
That would piss me off too.
Right.
Now, how would I handle that if I was Eric? I would have just said exactly that. I went, well, that sucks. I kind of wish you guys would have mentioned that before I like came all the way out here. Whatever. Bye. Okay. But Eric chose to handle it by going, maybe you should learn to be more honest, you dumb fat bitch.
Okay.
Now, he didn't say it as much as he yelled it.
Yeah,
like I'm talking about,
you
dumb fat bitch. Yeah. Like, and I've never heard Eric yell before. I was like, ooh. And so then Eric goes to leave. This bitch starts crying because, oh, that's my one thing, calling me fat. Whatever. He touched a nerve. He touched a nerve. So,
just for the record, I don't think anybody likes being called fat. I don't think anybody like.
That's my one thing.
Now understand.
That's the line you should not cross.
It's
so wait, if I called you a cunt or a bitch, all that would have been
that's
fine.
Cool. That's cool. That's fine. That is.
So understand.
No
I'm sitting.
Oh,
here.
you whore. Oh no,
I'm sitting here just going like,
but fat.
Oh, this is happening. Great. This is fucking happening.
But a fat whore.
That crosses the line.
You've gone too far, sir.
And this is the thing too. It's just like, how was Eric supposed to get any inclination that he was not involved in this when you're inviting him into the bed, you're offering up tits to grab? Like
who tit did he
Red
grab?
Dress.
Red Dress allowed him to touch the tits.
Like,
yes.
I kind of see where not Red Dress is coming from because she never told him.
He was talking and being at the club was like that stuff too. But it was just the configuration. It wasn't like he was ignoring her.
No. I understand.
But I see what Charismatic is saying is that it was Red Dress who initiated the sexual contact. So,
but wait, that's a good point. But when I finish the story, you'll see where the hypocrisy comes from.
Okay.
So basically, it turned into Eric leaving. Although he came back like 3 times because he called me and he left his shoes in here, put them outside there. Then he left his coat in here. I was like, God damn it. And then it basically was until 5 a.m. me sitting on the bed, giving this bitch fucking, the nice circle back rubs chick give us when they can't give it. When a chick won't give you some pussy and they give you those circle back rubs, I just sit there and like, it's okay, I'm sorry.
It's not you, it's me, you know.
Oh my God. So finally I get this bitch out of my house. I'm sitting here like, Jesus fucking Christ. Right. They're slipped away an orgy / threesome, but it was just like, okay. What? And this is the thing. When she's ready, this is the slickest line I hit her with when she said, well, why do I have to leave? I was like, well, because I'm no longer consenting to you being in my house. Okay? And understand, this woman basically held me fucking hostage in my house until 5 in the morning. Because what am I to do? Am I supposed to be the asshole that everyone thinks I am and go, hey, bitch, get the fuck out of my house? That's what I want to do, but I'm not really an asshole.
And she's been crying.
She's been crying. You know what I mean? It looks bad for me to send a crying chick from my house.
It looks bad,
So don't let anyone say I'm not a gentleman. Now, next day, after reflecting, I went, you know what? I think these 2 chicks are way too nice for me. Like they're just inherently like first of all, I just hated being put in that situation. Bitch, I'm not dating you. I should not have to be comforting some crying chick that was trying to come get some dick and then wasn't and then held me hostage in my own fucking room. Right. And it was a thing where everything I was saying to this bitch, I had to keep repeating. I had to repeat myself about 8 times, and everything she kept regurgitating my words completely wrong. And I'm like, you're not even listening to me. And like you're making me hate you because I shouldn't have to. I don't even want to do this with a chick I'm dating. And you're making me do this with you, who I don't give a fuck about. I don't give a fuck about you, lady. All I care is you getting the fuck out of my house. So next day, I send them both separately a message, which is essentially, and I'll boil it down, but it was more nicely put like, listen, sorry things got weird last night. Other than that, it was a nice time, but here's the thing. Like I'm definitely not trying to date either of you. And the vibe I get is that you both are way too nice for me. Like you're both very nice people, very kind individuals, this and that. I'm a fucking asshole. And the more you hang out around me, you will probably find out that I'm a fucking asshole. So I'd rather be honest with you and let you know, like, let's just stop here and you think I'm an asshole than when I inevitably say or do something that's going to confirm for you I'm an asshole. Like, I'd rather it just be that, like, we didn't link up again and that's why I'm an asshole than, like, then it gets to the point where I'm like, Eric, and I call you a dumb fat bitch or something like that. Right. So I say that to them. Fat chick gets kind of pissy. Sorry, not red dress. God damn it. She's got me angry now because she held me fucking
we know
hostage.
she's fat. It's out of the bag.
Yeah.
We know her now.
Or over the bag.
So she's kind of like, well, I wasn't trying to date anyway, but like, she was kind of like pissy about it, but like whatever. Red dress was like, well, listen, like you clearly have a lot of growing up to do and all of this and everything. First of all, it's like, bitch, I'm 26, obviously, but guess what? I don't give a fuck. Who are you? Yeah, like I've got a lot of growing up to do. Again, women, do you understand? I'm not dating either of these chicks, and they're talking to me like I should give a fuck what they're saying to me. Like, I don't care. You're nothing to me, okay? So don't be telling me how I should live my life. Bitch, you don't know me. First of all, I could have just been a cunt and just blocked you both, never said a word to you again. I could have told you to go fuck off. No, I tried to be honest and polite and a gentleman, and it was met with cuntiness. Then she goes, and this is where it starts the thing of consent. And you know what? Your buddy has a real problem with consent. They said that about Eric. So this is where it probes the question. What point did Eric not follow consent protocol? Was it, oh, wait, maybe like at the club when you guys should have said that Eric wasn't part of the deal and not had him come back? Was it when you, red dress, who's saying he has a problem with consent, inviting him over the bed and telling him to grab some titty and stuff? Where's the consent issue? Like, should he have, at tit, he was like, oh, is it okay if I move to your arm?
Don't do that, fellas. Do not ask for permission.
No, and Eric wouldn't. Eric's not the kind of person that would do that.
Oh my
but
God,
that's what I'm saying. Stop fucking playing around with the idea of consent.
What is she, okay? So
because what did Eric do wrong? Like, how was Eric?
Did she answer the question?
No, because she was like, I'm gonna block you, but before I do, like, I should tell you your friend has a problem with consent.
Oh, she did one of those. Okay.
Yeah. Because and you know what that was? Some dumb emotional woman shit. She was pissed off because she probably liked me. And she would, because this is the thing, her and the chick wanted to hook up with me, but it's just like, sorry, I'm not gonna be a dickhead to my friend who I've known for 5+ years because you dumb hoes can't communicate and be honest about what it is. They should have said at that fucking club. And Eric then would have never gotten in the Uber with us. He wouldn't have gotten in the Uber with us because if Eric wasn't the part of the deal by the time we were leaving, I would have left those bitches at the club because they were completely dishonest in their approach, their communication, everything. Then you get back here. If you're telling my man he could come get back in bed with us and grab my tit, it's like every implication is that this is happening. So, like, again, if Eric wasn't part of the deal, you shouldn't have asked him to come get back in the bed. You shouldn't have offered him to grab your tit, which is arguably a sexual part of the deal.
Like, I have 2 things.
Okay.
In the story.
And by the way, I tried to get Eric on today. He was busy. But,
okay. I would have loved to have him here to have
we should get him on because he's one of my 2 close friends that I turned on to Black Phillip, and him and my best friend Ford both hit me up like 2 weeks later and were like, what the fuck did you just show me? Because their game has completely changed too. Eric showed me this Colombian chick that he got while he was down in like Florida, and it was like, oh my God, like retarded hot, like model hot.
All right, so if Eric is gonna come on the podcast, then I'm just gonna hold off on the things.
Well,
that
no,
he
you can
No,
go for it
because
we can run through it.
Okay.
Yeah,
because two things. I can understand the idea of, okay, you could have let us know ahead of time that this was gonna happen, or Eric was not gonna be involved ever.
Yes.
But the girl, non-red dress, thought one way or the other, I'm gonna get me some dick tonight.
Yep.
So she assumed she was entitled to
your
some dick.
your dick.
Yeah.
She's gonna get you one way or the other, and she will take you along with red dress if she has to.
Yeah.
So that was her goals from the very
Yep.
beginning. So her having to clarify that Eric wasn't gonna get any was not her responsibility.
Fair. However, all of the conversations that happened at the club was like, yeah, we're all into poly. We like everything.
But it's just a conversation.
That's
all
fair.
that it is. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
a
just
conversation.
being into poly doesn't mean I'm a fuck
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Like,
right,
you know
right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
That's
'Cause
fair. That's
people
fair,
could just
but-
talk. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's just talking. Now, two, I would say Eric's reaction to her not wanting to mess around with him.
That's my only problem with it.
Yeah,
essentially,
it's
is that,
just
like,
I don't like the
he
emotional
should,
outbursts.
exactly. Like he should not have allowed her to have that kind of power over him.
Right.
Like,
Because
and
if
to his defense, he was definitely drunk on whiskey. We've been drinking
okay,
all night.
that contributed to it.
Because Eric,
That and probably blue balls.
Yeah, and blue balls,
Because let me
yeah,
tell you,
yeah.
Eric is not the kind of person. That was the first time I've ever seen
Seen him
Eric
do that,
yell.
yeah.
Yell.
So it
I've
must have
never
really
seen him
bothered
yell.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he must have been looking at this fat girl and be like, yeah, what? You should be happy.
This
to
not
get
red
this
dress girl.
It's the cow's out of the bag.
The cow's out of the back of your ass.
It's already out of the bag. But the second thing is I don't like the emotional. But I was thinking like if I was in that situation and a girl was like, oh, there's two girls that want to bang my friend, but one wants to. As soon as that she would have said, I'm not gonna fuck, I'm out. I'm
Yep.
piecing out.
Yep.
Because all I'm gonna do is get upset by staying
Yep.
there.
Yep.
Well, and that's what Eric
And
was
stewing,
doing. This was in the
yeah.
process of Eric getting his pants on
Yeah,
and
yeah,
everything,
yeah,
and
yeah,
he's
stewing,
like,
yeah.
and me arguing with Chick, where it's like, well, yeah, if my boy's not getting any, nobody is. So
Yeah, right,
like,
right.
you need to go.
Yeah, I would have just bounced. Yeah.
And now I'm gonna tell you, in the future, if a woman ever does that to me again and won't leave when I tell her to the first time, I'm going to call the cops.
Yes,
I,
you
yeah,
should.
do that.
I
Always
am
do
not
that.
going to
Always
ever
definitely
deal
do
with
that.
that bullshit
Yeah,
ever
definitely do
again.
that.
That was fucked
Because
up.
that can turn into a very bad situation for you. So like, don't.
I can't like. That's the thing. It's like I'm also not going to be alone in a room with this chick because it's like
Call the police,
If,
yep.
if you have that
head
level
down,
of dishonesty with like what the situation was going to be, then like, how do I know you're not going to leave here and say some crazy shit?
I'm calling the police.
As far as her comments after the fact, the red dress in terms about your friend doesn't understand consent and all that. That's just her defending her friend in a weird way because he called her fat. So I guess that was her way of getting back at your friend by saying, "Well, he doesn't understand consent and all this other nonsense." And
When
but
quite the
I don't think
they
she
don't
was-
understand consent.
But I don't think she's saying it like, "Oh, he did something wrong." I'm saying that was her counter attack to her friend being called fat. Is what I'm saying.
Sure. Yeah. Well, and it's just
That was the only way for
it's
her
just
to
dumb,
get
emotional
It was
woman
just an
response because it
emotional
doesn't
thing.
make sense. But
yeah,
that's-
because he didn't do anything sound like to me that was
He didn't do anything
breaching
wrong.
anything.
No, he didn't do
consensual. Right.
anything wrong.
Yeah, so I think that's all that it was. He was like, "Oh, well, your friend is a perv." Basically, she was basically
Yeah.
trying to say your friend is a perv.
He's a perv because you asked him to grab your tit.
Right. But no,
And he
I don't
called
think
your
she
friend
actually
fat.
believes that he doesn't understand
Yeah.
consent.
She should have called him an asshole. She could have said your friend's an asshole. That
I
would
no,
make
I
sense,
think
but-
but I could think. See, this is the weird thing about her. I think she could understand his frustration at that moment because it's like if he thinks he's gonna get some.
If I've been led on all night, I've bought you drinks. I had to come all the way out here, which will inevitably be like a $30 to $40 Uber all the way home,
Yeah.
which could have been a $10 Uber from the club. That would piss me the fuck off because we're artists. It's like,
Right.
hey, $30 is
It's a lot of money.
That's
It's
a lot of money.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think you should buy women drinks when you're at the bar in general as a move? I don't.
I don't either.
I just approach them, shake their hand, and then get to talking.
Oh,
get
you're
to-
talking just like one that
Yeah,
I walk
when
up to?
when I'm.
There's
when
no
I'm
reason
put-
for you to have any of
Yeah,
that money.
buying the drink thing, I don't do that.
Yeah.
But I understand guys that will send a drink over. That's smooth. That's really cool. But buying, I don't see that as a good method of getting in.
I don't like it because
Because I feel
starts-
like
to be
it puts
fair-
the woman's head in her head that this is a conditional interaction.
To be
I don't
fair,
like-
now you bought me a drink. I have
This
to do
is
something.
this is like an
in
hour
return.
and a half, 2 hours into the event that we've already been talking to them.
Right.
He didn't start with buying them a drink.
Okay,
Like, we were
okay,
all
okay,
like
okay,
drinking
okay.
and everything, and he was
But
like,
but if you buy a woman a drink, that you shouldn't expect
Nah.
anything either.
no, and I don't think those were my words. I don't think
Right,
Eric
right, right,
necessarily felt that, but it
Right,
is a
right.
kind of thing where it's like, well, if the vibe was the whole time that like, because Eric and I never got any inclination that this was not going to be both of us as part of the deal. So it's like, you know, it's like if we're hanging out and all of this and everything, it's like it's only shitty in retrospect where it's like, well, yeah, if I thought we were going to be spending like the evening together, like, and then we weren't, it's like, well, I wouldn't have bought you those drinks. Then I would have spent my time and money on someone else. Like, because that's time Eric could have been spent putting into any other chick. Into
That's true.
that club.
That's true. Future reference. Future, like, just for, well, because it's a catch-22. There's nothing you can do about it now. But in the future, whenever that situation, you get that again where two girls seem to be more interested in you than your friend, make sure you ask the girl.
I didn't know that until we got back.
See, now me.
Well, the whole progression, bro, it showed no interest in your friend.
Right.
Especially from the way you tell the story. It shows no interest in your friend.
Yeah,
I don't know when he walks up and becomes part of it,
Right.
but it does seem like you're beginning double teamed and all of a sudden your friend matriculates out of nowhere.
No, I
and,
think
like,
you just made the assumption since they want me, they'll do anything to get me, so they'll give my boy some.
But this is the thing, like, I didn't. And again, maybe it's just because I was also drinking, but I never got like a vibe that I never got the vibe that it was just me. Like it felt like.
Was it already two of them and just you? Yes, so it's just you.
It's just you.
But like when I first went up to
personally-
Red Dress, like Eric was over at the bar talking to not Red Dress. Like they were talking like.
Yeah, but you don't know what they were talking about.
Yeah, you have no idea what they were talking
You
about.
didn't get to interact to see if he was actually.
All you know is that
winning her
you
over.
were approached by two on the dance floor.
Right.
Well, I'm just saying, it's like if we're getting in an Uber that everyone is aware is going
Yeah, but
back
you
to my
can't.
place.
Nah, I understand.
that's an
understand
assumption.
That.
That's an assumption.
I understand that assumption, but that's not correct.
But then if you're the chicks too, wouldn't you go? Why is he coming back?
No, because
he
the
could live
goals
there.
were
They don't know you that well.
You were the goal. They're gonna get in the Uber no matter what.
Do they know? At that point, did they know he didn't live there?
Yeah.
All right, that was my cover. Go ahead.
No, my thing is purely this. The goal was you. So they was gonna get in the Uber with
In retrospect,
whoever.
yeah.
It didn't matter.
That's
It could have
fair.
been with 15 other guys. They wouldn't give a shit. They're gonna fuck Irish tonight. You see what I'm
Fair.
saying? So it doesn't
I mean,
matter.
the fault is on me for not, I guess, clarifying before getting in the Uber. I was a little drunk.
If I
It
was
felt-
me, I would have said as soon as there was like, oh, I know I want my boy to get some. I'm gonna say to the non-red dress, yo, you're gonna have to give my boy some because I'm gonna take care of your friend.
Yeah. Well, and that's fair. That's
I need Gerby on my team. This
Right.
is
So
this
before
told
we
you
leave-
straight up.
Now-
No, I'm gonna tell the girl straight up.
And that's the one fault I'll take. And again,
Yeah,
maybe
yes.
it's probably just because I was drinking.
Drinking,
I was drinking
yeah,
whiskey
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
hours before this
Right,
event.
right,
I
right,
was
right.
like, I wasn't like shit
See,
faced, but
I
like
ain't as
enough
blunt as
where
my dude over here. I'd be like, yo, so is it we or is it me?
Right,
So is
right.
it
I
we?
just
Is
want to
it
clarify
me? So is
before
it,
we leave.
like,
I would want to clarify.
What you
so
mean?
my
Like-
boy is
See,
coming
and
with us.
the other
so-
problem is to me is like they were being handsy with him. Like it's
That's an assumption as well.
I mean, I guess, but I thought like if
Typical guy mistakes happening right now.
I guess,
right.
I guess so.
Just because she's touching on you doesn't mean she wants the deal.
Yeah.
that's fair. I mean,
Yeah.
I also haven't had a threesome or an orgy or anything.
I only
before, so,
trust-
like, this is all. I'm going in blind to this. I don't know.
This
what's
may
going
be
on.
bad to say,
fair.
but I make attempts. Right when I'm with a girl, I go for the pants.
Yep.
And I try to unbuckle.
I told you, Gerby, this guy. This guy's a
Wait,
terrorist.
wait. At the club?
No, not at the club.
Back
When
here.
if we get back here.
Oh,
To
no.
make sure
Okay,
that
okay,
it's
never
all
mind.
good.
Never mind. That's,
Because I don't trust what she's doing to me as indication that I'm gonna get some. To me, is when you let me access you is when I know I'm gonna
see,
get some.
mine is a little. I'm
you see what I'm saying?
I'm always
You
a
see
little
what I'm
bit more subtle than y'all. Well, I don't know if it's more subtle.
Yeah, I don't
So
think
like
it's more subtle. I think
before
we're
it gets back to the room, like
Right.
I'm
touching that thing.
I'm a slide
Oh, yeah,
with my
I'm touching
hand
that-
up.
yeah, I'm touching
if
that
that
thing.
don't work, then
Right.
like if I got a negative reaction to that, I'm like, all right, I read this wrong.
Right.
I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
but no, if that work, I'm like, all right, cool. You know,
cool,
try
cool,
the front real quick, and
But
it's like,
even
whoa,
then,
if the
a
front
girl
work,
may be enjoying all that. Yeah, she's
And
like
still
getting her
not wanna
coochie
fuck,
touch
yeah.
and still may not know what fuck. So I like to make attempts to make sure I need to understand.
There was coochie
This is
touching
gonna-
happening.
Right.
on both
This
ends.
needs to. This needs.
I
this
need a
is
million
going down.
touch and
But like I
balances.
said, but that doesn't
Checks and
mean.
balances.
That's what I'm saying to the Kings out. We live in a world in 2019 about to get into.
Well, and this is the thing. This is why
2022.
you just have to be brutally honest now with them.
You gotta
Like,
be
I agree
brutal-
with your
yeah,
approach. Like
be
I'm just
brutal.
gonna be like, what from now on? It's like it's gonna be like, what's
My
the fucking
mans is
deal?
coming.
Is he getting some pussy?
needs to
Because
get
if not,
some.
this isn't happening. Because
All right,
the
cool.
vibe the night has been so far that we are both getting.
Yeah.
So
Or-
if that's not the case, sorry that we misinterpreted that. But
Or give her an
fine.
option. Give her an option. Either you can stay here and I leave with your friend, or you come
Yeah.
with and my man gets some.
Yeah.
Call it a day. That's just how we were. Like that's how I was growing up. Like in my
But-
with my circle of friends.
And this is the thing too, though, is like women, you need to be more firm with consent. Like if to me, also it's there is some blame
Yeah.
on them. Like they needed to.
The saying is no means no, not means
Not
no.
come
not
grab my titty and,
means no.
like,
Like
it's-
just say no.
But I don't
Just
think
say
that was
no.
the
you have to
issue here.
admit though that they are sending mixed signals.
Not exactly.
No, I don't. I don't see that.
Really?
I
A
don't.
titty
I
touch
don't
is not
see that. I
fucked,
don't
but
see
like-
that. Yeah, I don't see that at all.
I guess, but my thing
See,
is
like, if you
my
were-
thing is if you're not going to involve Eric sexually, why even let him get some tips?
Because I've touched
See,
a lot
if
of
you were a
tatas.
gay man, this would make a lot of sense because you're reading it spot on
I
for
see
men.
what you're saying. Yeah, I see what
you're
you're
reading
saying.
it spot on for men.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a fact.
like you go and rub on a guy. Guys, like, you're gonna fuck me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you breathe on him. He's like, you're gonna fuck me.
Right,
Like,
right,
and
right.
that's what you're reading. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A girl's like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna just let him feel on these titties, and I'm gonna tie these up and go home.
See, but that's why, from experience, I've touched a lot of tatas, and I've not gotten
a lot of cuckoo.
Yeah,
You know
right,
what I'm saying?
and haven't gotten it.
Okay.
So I only trust when I've been given access to
I
the
mean,
cookies.
Eric was getting some pussy fingering action happening.
Okay,
That's what I'm
but that
saying.
doesn't-
That's still not
But
the
that
same.
doesn't mean taking her pants
See?
off is
You're
not
reading
the same.
it as a guy very well.
Taking her pants off?
But to me, that's fucked up. Women, if you did not want him in the situation, don't even let him fucking finger you. That's
No,
crazy
no,
to me.
no.
So,
Because
to me, that
That's
sets
a
up what I was
tough
talking
line.
about.
That's a tough
No.
line.
Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you.
That's a
Hold on.
slippery slope.
I
That's
know.
a
Hold on. I
slip-
got the perfect question. I got the perfect question. So, like, bro, is sticking a finger in your ass the same as sticking a dick in your ass?
They're neighbors.
They're neighbors. So if you're
Close
accepting
enough.
one, are you accepting the other? That's my question to you. Answer it honestly, bro. If it's yes, it's yes.
I mean,
It's just a slippery slope.
I guess not. But
Okay, then that's the line right there.
But-
You've seen the line there. You've seen the
that's
line.
different. Women don't have dicks. Women have fingers.
Okay, bro. It's the
Like,
difference between you using
that's
your finger
but
and you
that's-
using your dick.
I'd argue that's
It is
the
different. It's-
sexual
it's the
orientation
same
is
thing
coming to play
between
for
you
me
using
there.
your fingers or you using your dick.
'Cause I wouldn't want a dick in my ass, but like
You
I'll
like
take a chick
penetration
finger
in your
my
ass.
when she,
You like the penetration in your ass. Now, it's difference between the penetration levels.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying?
sex-
Same thing with your finger and your penis. It's difference between the penetration level. It's not the same
yeah,
shit.
fingering is leading towards sex, but
Yeah,
it's not sex though. It's not sex.
The
though.
same
You
way
see what I'm
a
saying?
finger in your ass is not you getting fucked
But
in the ass. Like,
but okay, then the question, the conversation we're having before the podcast, like, then is it the situation where Eric needs to fucking like every step of the way? Is this okay? Is this okay?
No,
Hell no.
no.
So- but
I
that's what
make
I'm saying.
attempts.
If-
I don't say anything. I just make attempts. So I just start unbuckling the pants. If she lets the buckle go off, then it's going down. It's happening.
And that did happen, and that's why I'm saying
did happen?
That's why I'm saying it's confusing.
So pants were taken off by the
Yes.
ladies.
Yes.
Both of them had their pants
Yes.
off, and still nothing.
Yes. That's why I'm saying there's fucking mixed signals. Like to me.
Let me get back to you on
like
that.
let me put it this way. Like I
gotta think.
if I was a chick, I would, and maybe I can only pontificate on this, but it's like I'm not gonna let a chick I don't want to fuck.
Well, you
touch
both.
my dick.
Did you guys have your dicks out too? Was that what's happening?
wait, really?
Well, it's just
Dick
they
hadn't come out.
were.
I disagree with
See,
that.
yeah.
I disagree with that.
big
don't-
gross chick coming up and touching my dick?
I can see you letting that happen because you're not gonna fight her. You ain't gonna fight her, so you'll let it happen.
That's not true. I've had gross chicks come up and grab my ass before. I'm like, don't touch me, bitch. I
Okay.
don't know you.
Did you fight her? You didn't do shit.
I
You
didn't
ain't gonna
fight
do
her,
shit.
but
She
I
would've done
but
it
I
again.
said
You ain't gonna do it. What you
said,
gonna do?
But he said no.
If she did it again, what
He
you
said
gonna
no.
do?
He did say
go
no.
up to security and tell them to harass the person.
That's
I know
fair.
I'll get
That's
laughed
fair.
at, but I don't
That's fair.
care. I'll
That's
play
fair.
women's games, or I'll throw a drink in her fucking face. Don't fucking touch me.
That's fair. That's fair.
How about that? I'll play their fucking game. But this is the thing. If I was a woman and I don't want to be like, or even as a guy, if I don't want to be sexually involved with a woman, I'm not even going to be doing like.
No, you're right. You're
I'm
right.
going to make it
Absolutely
clear
right.
you're not part of the deal. So if I'm a woman and I don't want to fuck you, I'm not even going to let you touch my tit. I'm not going to let you finger me.
That
I'm
should
not
be
gonna-
the way it is. That
That
should
should
be the
be.
way
Yes,
it is.
because they're being fucking dishonest.
I don't think it was
And because-
dishonesty.
and you agreed with me too
though.
earlier. Like I don't agree with the whole what was it? It was about that conversation we were having with the when we were downstairs. It was like I don't agree with the whole like I could see some cases for this, I guess, but like when a woman goes like, oh well, I only went along with it because I was afraid of what might happen if I said no. It's like
Yeah,
if that's the case, like if you're just like, oh well, I'll fuck him because I ended up going to his room and my mind changed. Ladies, you're allowed to change your mind. They were allowed to at any point go like, hey, you know what? We're not really comfortable hooking up with your friend. They weren't adults about it. Which, by the way, red dress. Found out after the fact, 38 years old. So, bitch, you should fucking know by now. Like, I don't buy that. Like, I can understand gun to your head, like, okay, I get, but then guess what? You call the police afterwards.
The reason why it's hard for me to say, because it's as the guy, it's your responsibility to protect yourself at all times.
Fair. No, I definitely made mistakes along
You
the
know
way
what I'm
there,
saying?
for sure.
So that it's hard for me to say, oh, it's the lady's fault for not being clear.
It's their fault for not being honest. They weren't honest with what they were doing.
That's the hard, because You are as the guy. I feel like you should be reading the situation, but you guys were also drunk too.
Yes,
I wonder if you. I wonder if you guys were sober, would you have seen it the same way?
Maybe.
And so that's the reason why I'm saying this situation is tough. It's a tough situation because in my mind, I could see it at them thinking Irish is gonna fuck us. So yeah, let's take our pants off. Irish is gonna fuck us. Let's let him. Let's friend touch a little titty, whatever. He could watch.
Yep.
I could see in every way you describe it. I don't see it as our intentions was to fuck both of them.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
I can actually
you know what?
I can
see
see
that,
I can see both
but-
of those, of which means that they're both valid.
Right.
I mean, like the whole time they could have been thinking, "Oh, he's gonna watch," right?
Right.
Like
The whole time.
the whole time they could have been
just-
thinking he's
he's a
gonna
creepy
watch.
guy, he's
so
just
let's
gonna
let him
watch.
touch real quick
let him
because
touch.
he's just gonna be
So let's
watching.
not-
Like,
He ain't
They're
gonna get any
assuming
pussy.
too. Then
Right.
he's a non-pussy getting motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
fault does fall on them too.
There's
or
never
if
a situation
if
that I
it
think is
doesn't,
faultless like this.
you know what?
Like
Yeah.
absolutely
You
faultless.
know what?
Well, there are some that
Faults all the way around.
You know what?
Faults all
If
over-
they are
all over.
faultless, then I guess I'm just more of an honest person than them.
yeah, that's fair to say.
They're just fucking dishonest.
You're more of a
because-
blunt person,
Because a
yeah.
person
Straight
who is honest in that
upfront-
situation,
upfront
to me,
person.
honesty in that situation, Eric would have never been allowed to get in the Uber to come back here with us.
This is why I want to
honesty or
talk to Eric.
upfrontness?
This is why I want to talk to Eric
They
because I
weren't
want to
upfront.
hear the conversations he was having with
Yeah.
that girl. Because without that context, I can't say for sure what you're. This is from Irish
That's
perspective.
fair.
On
No,
the
that's fair.
situation.
It
You
is
see what I'm
only
saying?
my perspective.
So that's the reason why it's hard for me to say. Now, if Eric comes here and he says, "Yeah, she was talking about she's gonna suck my dick and let me fuck her out and I'm gonna beat it up," and then that happened, now I say, "Okay, yeah, it's their fault for sure." But until I have that piece, I can't.
I mean,
really
it
say
probably
they're-
wasn't that blunt.
Right. It probably
but-
wasn't. Eric doesn't sound like he's that much of a savage, based on what you've explained during the story. Him getting emotional bothers me a little bit. So he may not be that kind of savage in the first place, no question. But I just want to hear the contents of their conversation. Then I can make a determination whether that they were completely faultless or they were completely at fault for what happened.
It's fair.
That's it.
It's fair.
So it's tough. It's tough to gauge. Alrighty then.
Get
Let's
up!
go into our King's round
That
table.
was a very serious discussion,
Very serious discussion. That's a whole podcast right there, just on that.
dude.
To be continued.
To be
Part two.
continued. To be continued.
I still think even if there was an inclination, they still like, ladies, for future reference, don't get in an Uber with multiple guys without clarifying what the fucking deal is.
I think that's fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, so-
like, what are we doing, guys? Like something. You
At
know?
the very least, even if the fault isn't on the ladies, fine. We'll say it's not on their fault. But going forward, ladies, why don't you learn from this experience and be more honest and clear?
Right.
We appreciate that. I'm telling you what, guy, I would much have
Directness
preferred.
is
You know how
most
much I would have
appreciated.
preferred if they just at the club were like, we're not interested in fucking your friend. We want to fuck you.
Yo,
Perfect.
we just had a drop
Yep.
for a new
So,
section.
Right.
So around
Parents-
here.
Fuck y'all.
You gotta move on, Irish.
Fuck y'all. And that topic.
All right.
All right, is this our first one?
Yeah, this is the first one. Yeah, we're gonna talk about this. It's a very fascinating video. I want to hear your thoughts, the Kings.
Oh.
有做嘅話，俾我哋地咗上，又係嘅呢啲錢又揀到地呢，我這股啥係嘅，講呢家長我一度手比少，呢度手當當的點樣才地呢？
See, I know what's going on.
Completely disagree with those.
I know exactly what's going on right here.
Okay, what's going on, baby boy?
That pussy tastes like apple juice.
Like apple juice?
Like apple juice. That shit delicious. That guy's pussy whip to the next level.
What if it tastes like bubble tea?
He probably like it. It's awesome. With the caveat, with
I
bubbly,
don't know.
with
I
the
like,
bubble.
I like my pussy a little less chunky.
A little chunky? A little chunky?
You can get it without the bubbles.
Yeah, you
Is
can
it really
get
bubble tea though?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep, because it's gonna bubble ease. Yeah, man.
Too much of a gentleman.
Gentlemen, no. Don't ever disrespect my brand. Don't ever disrespect my brand.
He's
He
not
is
a
not a
gentleman.
gentleman.
He's not a
He's a
gentleman. Okay.
fucking pussy.
Yeah, that's some pussy shit.
He's a pussy. If nobody's sin, bitch, you ain't sin either. She ain't look like nothing was wrong with her.
If
She ain't look like nothing was wrong with her.
healthy. She
look
Yeah,
healthy.
she look healthy.
you could maybe make an argument to me if she was pregnant, but you want Brudnick.
Bro.
And
like-
even then, I would still go up and ask another person that looked young, be like, "Do you mind if my pregnant wife sits down?"
yeah, like
Like you're not gonna sit on me. Like I'm sorry, I'm not a fucking chair.
maybe
I'm a human being.
Maybe that's their relationship, and she's a dominant and he's a sub. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
Maybe that's their relationship, and it just their relationship. They're one of those relationships that come out of the bedroom. You know
Let
what
me
I'm
ask
saying?
you a question,
Like
then.
those people that wear leashes in
I have a
public.
question about that. In dom relationships,
Yeah.
in sub relationships,
Yeah.
does it go out in public?
It can,
Yeah.
yes,
Not all the time, but it can.
it can. Take it from the kink guys.
So
okay?
it's rare when it goes public.
It's not that rare.
It's not that rare.
It's not that rare.
What
no.
would you say the percentage?
Dude?
60-40?
Ani wears a choker. That's still
Yeah,
part of
but-
the thing. You just all you have to do is
but
attach
that's-
something to a choker.
That's
like,
more for her style, though. She wears it because she says the chokers are back in style. Da, 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 like
okay,
what
we
she
also
explained.
doesn't know it doesn't play in as well.
Right.
We also don't know that.
No,
for a
no,
fact.
no. I'm just asking the number. What is
It's
what's
not super public, but
it's
it probably
not
depends.
70-30%.
Some people,
30%
you see,
on
a lot of people will do it publicly, but they'll do it subtly. So like
Yeah.
Right.
wearing a choker is
Right,
typically
right,
doing
right.
that subtly.
But
you know,
that
and
is
other
like
shit
an
like that.
extreme case.
Definitely.
I feel like that's super ultra rare.
That is a
So
little bit
that's
more.
why I'm saying that it may not even be a dom sub situation. It might be just he thinks this is the way he is supposed to treat a woman.
Why? Because he's not seeing that done anywhere around him. That's why people are taking video of him. This is odd. Where is he seeing this
He's
done?
putting pussy up on a pedestal.
Yeah, where is he seeing this done that
you
he's
go.
doing
That's-
this?
That's the one I wanted to get into. Fellas, you can't put vagina on a pedestal.
Literally.
A woman's
Literally!
a woman's pussy is not any more important than your dick. They both pee. They both fucking come. I guess. Yeah, women
Yeah,
like
they come,
women
yeah.
have babies and bleed like
yeah,
once a month. But like that's blame God for that
Babies and
shit.
bleed.
It's not my problem. It means nothing to me. It's not better than my dick. Sorry.
Yes, they're human also, and you gotta remember, like, I don't know where this is coming from, where guys feel like they have to sacrifice their bodies for their women to this degree. Like, you don't have to do that. Like, it's never that necessary. And by the way, this is the thing: you think she has more or less respect for a person?
Less.
And
She don't respect that man at all.
and by the way,
She didn't look like she respected
even
him.
initially,
Play that back real quick.
I think domination could be fun for anybody.
It can.
But I think for women in particular, prolonged dominance just turns into disrespect.
Okay, like
Look at her
you see
face.
it-
You can just tell she's like
No,
she doesn't even.
She's not concerned about his
Exactly.
well-being
She's not
at
great.
all.
She
She's
can
not
have
grateful
both
for
legs
that.
on the floor.
Yeah, yeah.
What like you see how like she's
He's straining.
comfy.
He's
She's
straining.
comfy. She's
He's already
comfy.
straining.
And
That's what makes
Look
me
at-
think it's
look
a
at-
dom
look at him,
sub.
look
She
at
does not care
She's
for
like
his
pushing
well-being.
into his arm. And
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
That's what makes me think it's a dom sub situation.
That's why you're making you
because
think
she's literally she's leaning into it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
she
yeah.
doesn't give no fucks, no kind of fucks, negative fucks.
Yeah, and if you're in a relationship like that where you're being dominated that way by your woman, I say get out as soon as you possible.
Unless that's your shit.
Yeah.
Some
That's your
people
shit.
like that shit, bro.
Listen, I'm not anti-woman, but I am pro-man.
No,
You know what
very
I'm
fair.
saying?
And some men want to be subs.
Okay, fine.
Shout out to all the sub dudes out
But-
there. I got y'all.
Yeah, publicly like that's humiliation. I don't like that personally.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
that's
that's
too
what
much.
gets them off.
That's too much.
That's what gets
Yeah,
them off.
some people are into public humiliation.
Bro, some people are. Do you know there's a class of people out there that like it when women spend their paychecks and shit?
Yeah, I like that too.
No, like
No, like spend your paycheck.
It-
Like
it-
you would get off like giving your entire paycheck to a chick and
Yeah.
let her
Yeah, I
spend
wouldn't be
Yeah.
completely adverse to that.
it. What?
Oh, that would get you off?
That wouldn't get me off, but I wouldn't be
Like,
against
bro,
it.
like
It
that's
doesn't
an
bother me.
idea that gets them hard and
Oh,
bothered,
there's
you know
guys
what I'm
that get literally horny.
yeah, bro,
From
for
giving their
financial
entire paycheck.
domination.
Like
yeah,
here's all
dog.
my money. Take it. You're beautiful.
Oh, she spent it on it.
Oh, okay. I'll give it my money because I just
All
wanna
your
spend
money?
on them. Yeah,
yeah,
you
I
just
just
wanna
trust
spend on
her
Like
ability.
here's my
to-
paycheck.
Yeah.
Boom.
them. Honestly, I have no problem with that either.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem
Like,
with that either. Right.
but no, it's literally because you're expecting her to spend it wisely. No, this person taking your money and throwing it down the rabbit hole. It's like, yo, I'm spending this bitch right now. Like you have, like, bro, you have no money.
Wow,
They took that shit.
We
People
live in
get
a
off
weird-
on that.
We live in a weird world,
Bro, I mean,
I
there's too
remember
many
that,
people, dog. If there's this many people, you had to come up. Every person's gonna get a weirder kink. It's just the way it is.
You remember Pimp Jerry from fucking Black Phillip, the guy
Yeah.
that was like living with the two chicks?
Yeah.
I
And
remember,
they were wondering if they were fat and ugly too, because it didn't make sense how he was able to do it.
That was so funny. Yeah, all the women that would come on this channel would be like, he's got to be like, they both got to be fat and ugly
Right,
women,
right.
or dumb women, and it's
Right,
like
right.
they had to justify like how these two women could go along with the situation. But the reason it pertained to the paycheck thing is
There
like,
you go.
I want to think he says in an episode that all of their money goes into his account.
Yeah.
And they spend what he like
He's
allows,
them to spend.
yeah.
He's the
they have an
dom.
allowance,
Yeah.
literally an
And-
allowance.
He's the dom
the
in
women
that
were-
situation, and they live that way.
Yeah.
It's not just sexual; they live
Yeah.
that way.
But
And
he's
the one-
also very fair.
Yeah. And the woman was
because
like,
he
but that-
allows him to go get dick
Yeah.
if he can't give him dick.
yeah, no, bro, he's a man.
And
He's
he
a
was-
real man.
Yeah, and he was like, because one of the women was like, but that's their money. He's like, I
It's
make like
our
three.
No,
money.
it's our money,
He
right?
goes, yeah, he goes, I make 3 times the amount of money they make. He's like, their money really doesn't mean anything
Right,
at the
right,
end of the
right.
day.
Yeah,
So
right, right.
no, it's not really their
It's
money.
not money. It's their money. No, it's not. But when you're in that situation with women, it has to be a partnership.
Yeah.
And you have to look. It can't. I see so many dudes.
Like guys, you have to if you're in a situation, it has
I
to
hear
be
people
because
say mine.
you have to set
it's
up
ours.
Yeah, what
Everything should be
I was
ours.
actually put in a position like that before where I was just checked, bro. Like
and this is the thing, you can have a situation outside of like what we typically preach, but to me, it has to be that you set it up that way as
Right.
the guy. Like if you like
You're happy in that setup.
if you like
Is what
your
I'm-
woman
that's more
your
important.
woman being like this way or that way and
Right.
it's counterintuitive to what we're saying, that's fine, but you have to be the one she can't be the one that dictates and sets it up that way. You have to establish like this is how it's going to play out.
It's all about your happiness.
Yes, which
Are
is
you
paramount.
happy?
Your
Are you
happiness is
happy?
paramount.
I don't personally. I don't care what guys do in terms of what they do with their woman. That's their business. At the end of the day, it's all about how, if you're happy with it. If you're happy within that situation, then I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Now I will share my opinion that I don't like that the way you're doing.
yeah,
it.
like some people are born cucks. Some
Right.
people really enjoy that.
Yeah, some
and,
people do
that's the
enjoy
thing,
that, right.
the take your ball and go home thing, like it's a little more complicated when you're dating a person than if you're just, or like if you're actually like with a person as opposed to just
Give me a
like, fucking
scenario.
around. You're with a person for like 4 years.
Okay.
Like it's you have vested interest, time.
money,
It's a little difficult to just
energy.
like at every little thing go like, well, fuck you, I'll just leave. Like,
Oh no, I never speak to that.
I
No,
mean, for
that's-
every little thing is
for every
never
little thing
that's
doesn't
never a
make
point
sense.
to take your
And that's
ball.
very childish too.
Yeah.
to
But,
have
and
that
that's what I
mindset.
mean is
Yeah,
like versus
yeah.
like, you know, like
Right.
now if I'm just like taking a chick out or like we're
Yeah.
just fucking around.
I'm
it's
talking
like,
about
I don't-
literally deal breakers is what I'm talking about. Being taking your ball
yeah,
and going
exactly.
home.
Like things that if it is attacking your happiness and they will not see your logic and don't care about like how it makes you feel, then yeah, take your ball and go home. But you know, it becomes more difficult the more time you invested in a person.
All right, let's go to our next item. I think it's very, very spicy.
Spicy meatball.
Spicy meets the bull.
Oh my
Dating 4
god.
guys and now I'm pregnant. This is I want to talk about.
But
this,
like you
Kings.
like pause. Like this is
Look at
this is
all the
exactly
4
what
guys.
the women on Black Phillip show were saying. Like I don't know many women that are jumping out of their britches to
date any of these men.
any of them.
Any of them.
Any of them. And, I
And
think
do
this
any
is
of them
kinda
really
like,
look
Not-
happy?
No,
bro, they all look complacent.
not one of these.
He's like
This-
each one of
this
them look
is-
like I have my scheduled date
This
for
guy-
pussy.
that
This
guy
is the
hates it.
most normal looking of
right,
the
right,
4.
yeah.
But even still, like none of them have confidence. Like even just look at this guy, how like timidly his hand is on this chick's shoulder. Like he's
She's the leader of the relationship.
of
no
course
question, of all of them.
course.
This is
Other
Tori.
personalities from there.
She
The
fell
way
in love with
Yeah, some big ass.
Travis.
You know,
No, like
I'm gonna
he
mute it just
he
in case,
looks like
but-
he has a mental like he actually has a handicap or something.
Hang on, you know what I'm gonna do just in case we get pulled. Everyone, if you want to find the video, it's called "I'm dating 4 guys and now I'm pregnant." I'm
Yes.
just gonna switch it off here just so YouTube
Yeah.
doesn't maybe pull us down.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Good.
'cause that is always annoying. All right, so Travis and Ethan, Mark, they have a 4-way relationship.
Having Tori as the hub and all of us are spokes on a giant wheel.
But not everyone understands the dynamic.
I was like, oh, you're kidding, that you're joking.
How will this poly relationship cope with a further addition to the family?
And so who's the father of the baby?
That guy over there is handicapped.
The fucking this one?
Yeah.
Travis's room. This is the master bedroom. This is the room that has the bigger bed that people will swap in and out of every night, just so that everyone can get equal turns. You know, sharing a bed. While this is like mine and Travis's room, we keep
Equal
all of our
turns.
stuff
So then how is it his room?
rotating
Nobody's
in and out.
room then. It's nobody's room.
The
It's her room.
first polyamorous relationship I had been in was actually with Travis and Ethan. Travis was the one who had brought up the idea to me. We met back in elementary school. We've been
Okay, that makes sense. So they were both
dating
losers.
for about 2.5, almost 3 years.
This is very
I've
suspicious.
known Ethan since
You know what I'm saying?
junior high. And
Like, bro,
we-
like,
He
what's-
doesn't
we've been
look
official
all
recently.
there.
We've basically
Right.
been dating for about 2 years now.
Like
Look at him. What the
Meaning
fuck?
multiple.
Hang on. Whoa.
Recently, we've basically been dating for about 2 years.
What's going on?
The term poly,
Ah.
meaning multiple.
I don't
often
know. I don't
refers
like
to
this.
No, you see, I feel like
These
let's
guys,
pause it real quick.
it's Tori.
I feel like he might have something wrong with him. That's why he kind of pushed her into it. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Maybe you know what I'm
But
saying?
no,
Like,
but it's not just like there's something wrong with him. Like he may not be normal. Like he may be on the spectrum. Like, and she might be taking advantage of that. It's
is it taking advantage if he has someone that's with him every day, and you know what I mean?
want to know more details. I
Oh,
want to
so
see
it's
if
so
she's like his
sad.
caregiver or something like that. I would
know,
wonder to see if that was true. That was legally what's going on here. Too.
I feel like such a loser that I've recognized every board game or thing that they've put up. Like I had a friend that had this game.
There you go.
It's really fun.
There you go.
This is wild.
Yeah. We have to try not to be.
So is there any one person that tends to win when you play games?
Definitely Chris. Listen.
So, and he looks
It's
like
not
he's the
my
smartest
fault.
of them.
It is your fault.
Also, I rarely play this game to win. I generally just like sowing chaos.
While this poly quintet
Okay,
are happy
okay,
to play
he's more-
games
okay.
with one another,
Oh God,
as
I
far as
recognize
play
so
goes
many
for
of those
boys,
games. I
this
feel like such a
division-
fucking loser.
Romantic with each other. We're all just connected with her.
although Tori might like it to be another way.
They're all more than welcome to have another partner if they so choose, but as of currently, no.
I wonder
Interesting.
why that is.
Interesting. That's okay.
Oh.
That's
Wait, no, you know what it is? These 4 guys are all loser nerds from high school. They're friends that realized that they could just all take turns with this one chick.
And they'll rather have a piece of her than none of her.
Did they all know each other
I
from
guess.
high school?
I to be honest, this isn't. But I would almost argue this isn't necessarily by choice as much as attrition. I just don't think that these guys are getting other pussies. So like this is available to
They
them.
can't.
They
get
can't.
other-
They literally do not have the skills
So
to.
she's
open.
obviously a nympho, and she's cool with having multiple partners. She
Well,
has no
and-
issues
and
with
this
that.
is- maybe this
but she
is-
don't want to sleep with 1,000 men either.
No, and maybe this is shallow of me to say, but she's
Right.
not particularly good looking. So I take it that this is. This is
She's better
obviously
looking
the
than
most,
any of them combined.
Yes,
for
yes,
sure.
but you know what I mean. Like this is way more attention that she probably ever got in like growing up at all. Like she was probably, and I don't mean to say this to be mean, she was probably like the fat ugly chick and growing up in school. And like if that chick, the power now of having these 4 guys,